Hi friends, welcome to episode 5 of Beginner's Answers for Heat Transfer. In this video, we are going to discuss the pre-processing stage of an analysis. Once you have set up the directories, run the product launcher in order to activate the Apdl user interface. As we discussed earlier, this is the general user interface of Apdl. And before we start, I am going to give some helpful tips in order to do an efficient analysis, one of which is the help manual. So here in the help tab, you have help topics. So this is the help manual provided by ANSYS. As for starters, we can go to basic and analysis guide. So here in this analysis guide, ANSYS provides us with step-by-step instruction to do all kinds of analysis. This is not limited to thermal, it has static, magnetic, fluid, all kinds of things. So this is one of the things that you should keep in mind while doing the ANSYS analysis. Another important thing that you have to keep in mind while using ANSYS is about the output window. So here, when there is an output window that was activated along with the Apdl user interface. So in this screen, everything that we do on the user interface is saved as codes. So if there is an error that is happening, if you are adding an element, if you are adding materials, everything will be recorded here. So when there is an error, this is the first place to go and look for it. Another important tip for efficient analysis is to set the preferences. For that, go to the Preferences tab. Here we can set an individual discipline in order to avoid all other disciplines while doing our analysis. So for example, in our case, we are doing only thermal analysis. We don't need all the options for static, structural or fluid dynamics, so we can set the system only to use the options available for thermal analysis. Below that, we have the discipline option. In the student version, we can only use the H method. It's one method in which the analysis can happen. There is another method called the P method also that is only available in the full version. So after activating this, click OK. So now the system is set for only thermal analysis. Now we are going into the pre-processor stage. In the pre-processor stage, the first thing that you have to change is the element type. As we discussed earlier, elements are the subdivisions of the geometry. If you are analyzing a solid body or a 2D structure, we are dividing it into small pieces called the elements. So there is different elements and it is determined based on the degree of freedom as well as whether it is a 2D or 3D space. So in order to select the best element that is suitable for your analysis, go to help topics, click on basic analysis guide, defining element types, and here we can click on many element types to see the different element types available in ANSYS Apdl. So as this is a 3D model analysis, we can go directly to solid modeling, and here we have a variety of options: solid 5, solid 65, solid 70, and goes on. So we have to choose one of the elements efficiently. So if you choose solid 5, it has degree of freedoms of displacement in XYZ direction, the temperature, the voltage, and the magnetic effect. If you choose solid 65, it has only displacements in X, Y, and Z direction. So solid 65 cannot be chosen for our thermal analysis because the degree of freedom doesn't allow thermal analysis. So if you select solid 70, it has only degree of freedom for temperature. As we are not doing the analysis for displacements, we can definitely choose solid 70, and as it is 8 nodes only, it won't take much of the computational time. Solid 87 over here also has the degree of freedom as temperature, but it has 10 nodes. So as the number of nodes increases, the computational time also increases. So the best one that can be used for our analysis is solid 70. As it's a simple one, solid 70 would suffice. For a complicated one, we could go for solid 90, which has 20 nodes, or there is other options that goes on increasing. So For our case, solid 70 would be a nice job. So close the tab, go to add, edit or delete, click add, and in solid go for solid 70, 8 node solid 70. So here there is element type reference number. We can set this number to anything, and usually it's like giving the selection a name. So if you are giving 2, whenever you are giving that material, or we are assigning a material to that element, anything, we are calling for that number. So just keep it 1 for now and click OK. So solid 70 is added here, and close it. So now the element is set. The next thing is material properties. Go to the material properties tab, click on material models, and so as we have like selected only thermal analysis, so the thermal part only comes. So go to thermal. So we can assign different values for the constants. For example, thermal conductivity, the K value as we discussed is 0.6, and click OK. So that is set. We can set density, specific heat, all kinds of stuff in here, and it will be discussed in the later videos, but we can add new models, different materials. For our analysis we need only one material, and we need to set only the thermal conductivity.